Hello, my crafty friends. It's Michelle, the Southern Shell, and I am here today to share with you a whimsical Valentine wreath I created. This is brought to us by DIY with Aurea and Loli with Loli D's Creations, and this is the Wood Round or Wreath Wednesdays. Now they have a guest host, Buffy with Buffy's Designs, and all the links will be in my description box below, as well as the playlist to the other creators joining us today. So I have a fun, whimsical Dollar Tree hula hoop. This is probably about 20 inches. I did not measure, but I'm going to make a wreath out of this fun Dollar Tree hula hoop. So in order to cover my hula hoop, I am going to do a crochet around here. I'm going to crochet my hula hoop a sweater. I could have covered this with tape or tulle or whatever, but this is a worsted weight number 4, and I am using a size 10 in a crochet hook because I wanted this to be nice and thick and yummy. So I'm going to show you how I created a foundation chain. Now, this is not a beginner friendly, foundation chains are not beginner friendly. I crocheted my hair into the foundation chain. Anyway, okay. So a foundation chain, instead of chaining what you need and then coming back and doing a single crochet, this is a single crochet and a chain all in one. And I'm doing it this way because I don't know how much I'm going to need. And so it's easier for me to do the foundation and the chain all in one. And there's some more of my hair that I crocheted into the chain. Okay, since this is not a beginner one, I will link a couple videos in my description box below on how to do a foundation chain. And then what I did is I just created the chain long enough to go all the way around my hula hoop. So once I got my foundation chain done, we're going to go ahead and go on to row number 2.
So half double crochet, yarn over into your next single crochet on the first row, up and through all 3 yarn pieces. Yarn over through our next stitch, through all 3 pieces. Yarn over through our next stitch, yarn over, bring it through, and then all 3 stitches. And we're going to do this all the way until we're at the other end where we started our foundation chain. Okay, so I just came to the end of my half double crochet, and now I have the hula hoop, and you can see here that it is going to take another row of the half double crochet at least. So I'll probably do 2 more rows of half double crochet, and then we can stitch it along all the way around this hula hoop to create a nice green spring wreath base. Anyway, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do 2 more rows of my half double crochet, and once again that is going to be chain 2. 1, 2, turn your work, yarn over, and then into that first stitch, and then all the way through. So yarn over through the first stitch, pull it through, yarn over, pull it through, and I'm going to go all the way across, and I'm going to do 2 more rows just like this. So this actually took 4 rows of half double crochet. So now I just have that same yarn, and I'm going to come in, and I've got this wonderful darning needle, and we are just going to stitch this by coming in one side under each of those stitches, and now I'm going to come onto the next crochet stitch and then out this other side. Super easy. Back through the next one, and I'm just stitching this on until I will have all of this all the way around my hula hoop here. And then that seam can be pulled to the back or the front, whatever. I don't mind. I did this yarn with that great big crochet hook so you could still see a bit of the pink and stuff through there. I wanted to make sure I could still have a little bit of that spring color before I come in and decorate this hula hoop up with the rest of the spring decor. So now that I have my sweater on my hula hoop, I'm going to show you some different items I'm creating to go on that and create this wonderful wreath for either Valentine's or spring. You can change it out however you want. I'm going to show you how to do it for Valentine's, which is what I'm doing right now. This is probably my last Valentine project this year, but we'll see. So I want to make some leaves first of all, because if I make just hearts, you know, that's just pinks and reds or whatever, but I have that green all the way around my hula hoop. So I thought I'm going to put some leaves on there, and then I can just exchange out, make some flowers later if I want to, and add flowers to it. But I like curly cues, so let's just make a few curly cues. Those are super easy. If you know how to do a basic crochet, you can do a curly cue, and all you're going to do is a slip knot. Super simple, just a slip knot around your finger up through the loop. There you have it. I'm going to use a big J, which is a 10 or a 6mm hook, so you can see this. And I'm just going to chain 15, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Chain of 15. Now I'm just going to take my hook and I am going to half double crochet, which is, you don't have to have, you can, let's just do a single so it'll be super simple. And I'm not going to go into the first hook here or the first chain. I'm going to take my crochet hook and I'm going to go into that second chain right there. Can you see that on my fingers? There's my chain. Stick my hook in there and I'm just going to come in, pull it out, and do a single crochet. Now I'm going to go into that same chain hole right there and do it again. This is just an increase, and we're going to increase this whole chain. So we chained 15, we skipped one, and we're going to double, we're going to do 2 crochets into each hook here. So that's going to be 14. So here we go again, the next chain right here. We're going to stick our hook in there, pull it out, and do 2 single crochets right in there. And we're going to do this all the way down. And I just count 1 and 2. And you can see here, as I am increasing each of those, it's pulling that up and creating this adorable little coil, which is just going to be an addition to my leaves. So, and I've only got a few more left here. All right, so when I get back down to the beginning of my chain, I like to actually, I'm going to bring it in and I'm going to slip stitch that right there, okay? And then I'm going to chain 20. And I'm going to do the same thing all the way back to the top, and that's going to give me 2 curlicues off of one piece. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, where I'm just increasing this, and I'll be back. And I am down to my last one, which is right here in the chain. And I'm going to go right in that last one and do 2 single crochets. 1, 2, and now I'm just going to cut this off. I use a long end on that because I want to just make sure that I have enough to tie it up later. And I'm just going to bring that right on through and slip stitch that and pull it. And so now I've got this cute little curlicue that I can attach hearts to, or roses to, or other flowers to. Super simple, single crochet, and then increase. All right, the next thing I want is some leaves, and so I'm going to go ahead and just use the green again. So now I need to make the leaf. So I'm going to make my slip knot here, and I'm going to chain 7. Tighten that on my hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so now I'm going to double crochet into the 3rd chain from my hook. So this is 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to wrap around, and I'm going to go into that 3rd chain. This is 1 loop, 2 loop, 3 loop, come up, and then yarn over, pull it through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull it through the second 2 loops. Now in that same chain, I'm going to do a triple. So I'm going to wrap my yarn twice. Now I have 3 loops on my crochet hook for my triple. I'm going to go into that same chain, pull it up, yarn over, pull it through, and now I'm going to go through the first 2 loops, through the second 2 loops, and then through the third 2 loops. Now I'm going to do 2 more triple crochets in my next stitch. So 2 reps, next stitch, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And now in the next stitch, I'm going to do 2 double crochets. So just 1 yarn over, and then 1, 2, yarn over into that same stitch, 1, 2. So in the next stitch, I'm going to do a half double crochet, which is still wrapping, 1 yarn over and into that stitch down there. And we're going to do a half double crochet, which is through all 3. And then in the next one, I'm going to do another half double crochet and pull through all 3. And in our last chain, we're going to do a single crochet. All right, so now we have the first half of our leaf. I'm going to chain 2. And I'm going to start on the other side of my leaf. So in the same chain that I just single crocheted, I'm going to come in and I'm going to single crochet. And then I'm going to half double crochet in the next one. I'm going to do the same thing except opposite. And then next one I'm going to do a half double crochet. And then we're going to do 2 double crochets. Sometimes it's easier for me to grab it. I need my eye surgery done, so I'm so sorry. I do have an appointment February 10th. So 1 double crochet and another double crochet in that same chain. And now we're going to go into triple. We're going to wrap twice, and into the next chain we're going to do a triple. 1, 2, 3, and then another triple. 1, 2, 3, and then into that very first one we're going to do another triple. One, 2, 3, and then I'm going to do a double into that same spot that I just did that triple. So now I do a double. Now I'm going to chain 2, And I'm going to go right back down into that first one that I just did, and I'm going to slip stitch that. That just means pulling your yarn through. I'm going to snip it off, and I'm going to go ahead and just chain 2 on there to give me a little bit of a leaf start, and then I'm going to pull that through. And now I have a nice leaf that I can start to add and build up. Of course, you can weave these yarn pieces in, but here we have a leaf, and here we have our curlicues, and let's make a couple hearts. Okay, so for your heart, I have some nice light pink thread here, or yarn here, and I have a size G, and I'm going to make a magic ring for my heart. Now the heart's going to be similar to our leaf, except the heart, we're going to draw that center up. Okay, so it's going to pull all of this together into a center. So in order to do that, I'm going to do a magic ring, which is just creating a circle I can pull like a tension. So I'm just going to wrap that around, crisscross it, pull it back around, and hold it. Now on the other side, you can see I have 2 pieces here. I'm going to stick my crochet hook under and over. And then I'm going to pull that bottom piece under and up. Now I'm just going to grab it, and then I have my tail from my yarn, and I am going to chain 2. 1, 2. So I just straighten it out, and now I have a ring with a yarn tail and a chain 2. For your hearts, I am going to do 2 triple crochets to start. And so this is smaller yarn, and I'm just going to show you. I'm going to go 1, 2, and then that ring that I have here, I have my tail, and I'm going to have that off to the side, but I'm going to have it running with my magic ring, and I'm going to stick it in my hole, yarn over, pull it back up, and do a triple crochet. So 1, 2, and 3. Now for the heart, all of our stitches are going in this ring. We don't have a chain, and we're not moving. We're just doing everything into this magic ring. So there's our first triple. Let's do another. 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to do 2 double crochets. Just yarn over once, in through the circle and up, and 1, 2, yarn over and through the circle, yarn and pull it up, and 1, 2. Those are 2 double crochets. We're going to do a half double crochet. No, we're going to chain. We're going to chain 1, and then we're going to do a triple crochet again. 1, 2, in through and up. I was getting ready to do another leaf. They're very similar. And then 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and now we're going to do another 2 double crochets. Let's go ahead and shrink our circle so we can grab here and we can just pull that tail. We're just going to shrink that circle, and then we're going to hold those together so it's just like one ring. Let's do another 2 double crochets. We're heading up the other side now. Double crochet is 1 loop in, pull it up, and go 1, 2, yarn over, in through the magic ring, grab your yarn, pull it up, 1, make sure you're getting all those little yarn pieces, and 2, and now I'm going to do 2 triple crochets. 1, 2 wraps around my hook, in through my magic ring, pull it up, and 1, 2, 3. Let's tighten this circle again just by pulling that. We're going to do another triple crochet. 1, 2, in through the ring, pull it up. 1, 2, 3. And now we're going to do chain 2. We're just going to finish this heart off, chain 2. We're finishing it off with a chain 2 because we started our magic ring with a chain 2. So now all I'm going to do now is come in and slip stitch into my ring, come up. Now a slip stitch is just taking that and pulling that yarn through. You're not doing a stitch on there, you're just slipping it down. And I like to do a chain 3 at the top so I have something to hang my heart on. Make sure I go through all of those. There we go. And now you've got this funky little loose thing here, right? I'm going to go ahead and just pull my yarn up and through there, nice and tight. Still looks kind of funky, but all we have to do now is grab that magic ring, that end yarn that we started with, and this is where the magic happens, because you're just going to pull it nice and tight, and now you have a heart. So I'm going to come through and I'm going to make several leaves and several curlicues and several hearts. The heavier your yarn and the bigger your crochet hook, the bigger your hearts are going to be. So I'm going to go and do a few of these and then we'll get back. Okay, so with the hearts, I have my leaves, I have some curlicues, and I have some hearts. With my hearts, I want them to hang down from that hula hoop. So what I want to do is I'm going to use some of these garment pins here so that I can just hook them on and take them off. That way I can change out whatever I want on that wreath per season. So on my long one here, I'm going to put this at some different lengths. So let's just bring our ruler in here and maybe turn it so I can actually read it. And so I'm going to come in and I'm just going to measure, this one's right at 12 inches. So I'm just going to take and make a knot. I'm just going to fold it over and just make a knot in the end so it makes a loop. I just fold it and then knot it, creating a lovely loop in the top of my yarn. I'm going to pull that nice and tight, just pulling that on there so not to break it, but to clear that out. Trim off the excess there, and then I'm going to take my garment pin and I'm going to open it up and slip that on. So now I can attach this garment pin to my wreath. I'm just going to go ahead and trim off this little piece here. You can weave it in. That'd probably be the best you can do, but that is from our magic ring, so it is wrapped around there pretty well. It's pretty woven there, but okay. Now you can leave your hearts like this, or you can embellish them. So I'm going to go ahead and get my garment pins on all my hearts, and I'll be back and I want to put some embellishments on some of these. So on this wreath, this is where I stitched it together. So this is the center, and I'm just going to take this piece of twine and I am going to loop it around this here, and I'm going to actually place it through a couple of these crochet stitches. Oh my word. Okay, and pull that back on through. All right. I wanted to show you that what I'm doing is I've twisted this up, and this is where I stitched this together around the hula hoop. Come in with my garment pin about the same distance. It doesn't matter because it's, you know. Ooh, and I want to make sure I'm doing it so the hearts hang down properly. All right. So if that's that way, it won't be like that. Well, there you have it, my friends. This is a very whimsical wreath, and you can make this as full as you want by making some more leaves or curlicues. Make them in different greens so that they pop more, give some more dimension. During different seasons, you can change out the hearts to firecrackers or crosses or Easter eggs or pumpkins, whatever you want to do. This could be an interchangeable, fun, whimsical wreath. Guys, if you like this, please give me a thumbs up. And if you've not subscribed, I hope you will consider doing so now by hitting that subscribe button. As always, stay safe, God bless, and bye for now.